Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in playing some decent football, 5-3 in their last 8 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their 6'5 quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
Go. 180! Check back 50! Watch the back,
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wentz. He'll dump this one off to Lindsay. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14. Working from the gun, Wentz. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
Here we go. 280! Check, 43!
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So here's the starting 11, and the human highlight reel, Odell Beckham Jr., watch out for him.
One of the few guys in the league that gets you and I out of our hotel rooms early to get here for pregame warm-ups and watch him go through his routine. He's absolutely amazing catching the football.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wentz. This one complete to the running back, Lindsay. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, just keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. A little check down to Lindsey. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Here we go.
They've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. They'll run here with Singletary. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Wentz. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by a man drafted in the 3rd round in 2019 from West Virginia. It's Will Greer.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
A running play on 1st down will get 4 up to the 29. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. They'll run with Smith. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith, just downright unbelievable. I mean, when you amass that many yards, I don't know what else to say.
Personally, I thought it was a game for the ages for him. Ripped off some long runs in that contest, didn't he?
He did it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On the ground, this is Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Will Dissly, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can Make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Lutz will look to add the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
A first down carry for Smith. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On second down, here's Smith. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. And for the Saints here on third down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing on third down, Greer. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one goes for 36 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 15-yard line.
On 2nd down, Singletary. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Wentz to throw on 3rd and 1. He finds Beckham complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz. And the catch made by Hopkins. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 41-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 41. 12 yards there, good for a Saints 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
It's caught by OBJ. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
Wentz now 9 of 11 passing in this 1st half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Wentz. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The Saints on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them Have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2-to-1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3-to-1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration. The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat-out muscled on that one.
Here we go.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Here we go. 120. Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback.
Wentz now on first down. He finds his target, Beckham. 14 yards is the pickup, first down, New Orleans.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things. A little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, a sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, Wentz. Catch is made by Harry. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Wentz. He finds Hopkins complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the left hash, this from 34. And Lutz puts this one through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So good work there to get points just before the half as they add on to their lead.
As trite as it sounds, every little bit helps. That's exactly what they're going for. Anytime you get a chance to put points on the board, you take it.
And they didn't leave the other side with much time at all on the clock. Following the main field goal, Lutz to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. 16-13, your final score. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Indianapolis Colts and what equates to be a very tough opponent. In our game, it's been Carson Wentz with a strong first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead. As well.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action. And here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go.
And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. And nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Apparently they weren't interested in playing the field position game. They opt to keep their offense out there. A big mistake in hindsight.
Yeah, that one backfired. In hindsight's always 20/20, but let's call it what it was. We would have first guessed that one and said, don't do it here. Bad situation. I think they need to be closer to midfield before I would start to think it was a good idea.
Yeah.
And once you start taking risks like that, you're going to have to keep taking them throughout the game, especially when they don't work.
Yeah, at this stage of the second half, interesting. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Not 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Wentz. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz as his guys continue to pour it on.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
Ready.
Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Wentz. It's caught. Beckett. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, good for his Saints. 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
I'm coming.
On play action, it's Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 7, Greer. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Oh, now Greer, he fumbled the football. Well, let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Here's Greer.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On the double. Right over there. Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Hey, here we go. 5.
Now a 1st down throw, Greer. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Check right. Hit it.
On 2nd and 10, Greer buying time to his left. Going up top for Kupp. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Greer. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Greer on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Greer on 2nd down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Greer now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Greer. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Throwing on 3rd down, Greer. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Crunch time, defense.
Here we go on 4th. Greer. That'll be caught by Cobb. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons. Here's Greer, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
58, Mike. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Falcons cut into that lead. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight-ahead power, and they got it done.
Point after try forthcoming. And the lead drops from 34 to 27. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Don't get nervous. What's your son?
Here's Beckham now. It's a jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On second down, a run with Lindsey. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
3rd and 15 here after the first and second down plays went in the wrong direction. A little check down to Lindsey. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 4th down. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Back to throw, Greer. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Delayed game offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer. Y'all playing the wrong football.
Greer will look to throw on 2nd down. That's into the hands of the tight end, Leggett. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
On 1st and 10, Greer. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons get a bit closer. And he knew he was going to take a shot in the pocket. He did, but he also found a way to get it into the end zone.
And that has to ease the pain a little bit of the shot he took, didn't it? Being able to throw it into the end zone for a touchdown.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold him.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
He's brought down at the 31. A gain of 10 yards. And it's 3rd down.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. From the 30 on 2nd down, Greer. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Here's Greer again. He completes this to Russell Gage. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 20-yard line.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Greer looks to throw toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today. This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you got it.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Robert Foster, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons cut into that lead. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up.
As they go 9 plays in all. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They go right back to Singletary. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here.
Check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Singletary. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I can be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. On 2nd down now, Singletary, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. A run with Lindsey out of the gun. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 14 yards is the pickup. 1st down, New Orleans. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And I know I'm not breaking any news when I say that any road win in this league is a good one.
No doubt.
But it's a double bonus when you get a victory on the road in your division.
And when you start a season each team breaks down their schedule in different ways. Some do it every 4 games, right? Let's go quarterly. Others say, listen, we've got to take care of our home field. And, out of a 16-game season, if you get 8 at home, let's at least win 7 at home.